Welcome to Burger Town.
Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here and welcome back to an all new Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies video. So today we have finally gotten DLC 4 revealed to us as well as confirmation of the location. So it is going to be releasing in Season 6 on October the 6th / the 7th. And it is in fact going to be based off of the secret Russian military facility in the Soviet Republic of Ukraine that we infiltrate within one of the campaign missions in Black Ops Cold War called Red Light Green Light. So I've seen a lot of people complaining that it's yet another Zombies map that is based off of a campaign mission, and honestly I don't really mind this. I've never minded it in the past because the Zombies maps are always really unique and play completely differently to the campaign experiences. It just saves Treyarch time in reusing the assets and the levels they have already made from the campaign, especially when they are working on Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard Zombies at the same time. You can imagine they are very tight on schedule. So yeah, I'm sure the map is going to play very differently to Red Light Green Light. The only reason that I am a little bit disappointed that it is based off of a campaign mission yet again is because of the fact that I was kind of hoping that we might see a more unique location for DLC 4, considering the fact that it is the climax of the storyline. I was hoping that we could maybe get a fully Dark Aether map, or maybe even an Atlantis map, or a map on the moon. Just something a bit more outlandish and crazy. But nevertheless, we know that on this map we are finally going to see the rise of the Forsaken, so maybe this is going to be the map where the Dark Aether starts fully consuming our world. I do hope that the Dark Aether plays a lot more significance in this map, which I'm assuming it will, considering this is the climax of the storyline. But let's get into the teasers that Treyarch have posted today. So they posted this first image saying Omega's next operation is already well underway. They have been constructing for months. We then have this second image saying Kravchenko plans to open a special gateway. They are trying to find him. And we have this other image saying Weaver, this is the place we must make our stand here, from Ravenov. So yes, Ravenov is well underway with helping Omega now, but what exactly is going on within these teasers? Well, if you have been following the intel, you will have a very good idea as to what is going on, because Kazimir Zykov has been tricking both Omega and Requiem, trying to manipulate them into letting him free from the Dark Aether. In recent intel, he has been calling Requiem the good guys, but we know that in actuality neither Requiem or Omega are inherently good or bad. They are basically just two sides of the same coin. And it does seem like Zykov is most likely a pawn, and all this is manipulation. Zykov is likely dead, or he's mutated into an Elder God himself, but it does seem like he is in fact a pawn for the Forsaken. Well, the location of Red Light Green Light is known as Test Site Anna, and at Test Site Anna, Dr. Peck has managed to build a machine, and that is what we see within these images. Now this machine looks very similar to the cyclotron from Die Maschine, but it most likely does the opposite. The cyclotron allowed you to enter the Dark Aether temporarily, whereas this machine likely allows people to be freed from the Dark Aether. And Peck has built this machine under instruction from Zykov. Omega are going to be trying to free Zykov using this machine. But as he said earlier, Zykov is most likely just a pawn for the Forsaken. Whether he is dead or whether he's been mutated himself into some sort of powerful creature, it is yet to be seen. But most likely what is going to happen is they are going to use this machine, and Zykov and all the Forsaken is going to end up escaping and trying to consume the regular world. And all hell is going to break loose as they try and take over. It does seem like Requiem have a bit more common sense than Omega. Omega tend to fall for bait a lot more. But yeah, Omega are carrying out Operation Izbavitel, and from Russian to English it means deliver, as they are trying to deliver Zykov into the regular world. So basically on DLC 4 the map is kind of going to be a head-to-head race between Omega and Requiem, with Requiem most likely trying to halt Omega from freeing Zykov and all the Forsaken, because we have seen from the pieces of intel that once again Zykov has been seemingly trying to manipulate both Omega and Requiem into trying to capture the Forsaken as opposed to kill it, because we all know that there is no point in trying to capture the Forsaken. It's way too powerful, there's nothing we can do. But I think that Zykov is trying to manipulate us because, as he was saying, he's most likely a pawn for the Forsaken, and if we try and capture it to try and harness its powers or carry out weird experiments on it, the Forsaken is just going to completely consume us. So it is not a good idea to try and capture it. We just need to go and try and kill it as soon as possible and not beat around the bush in trying to capture it. That is just setting us up for failure, but it seems like that is what Omega are trying to do. It does seem like they are trying to capture it, and that is what Kravchenko is up to, and that'll probably be their downfall. So on DLC 4, us, the Strike team, are going to be playing for Requiem in what is known as Operation First Domino, and it does seem as though we are simply going to be trying to intercept Omega's operation is Bavitel, and we have been assisted by someone, and that is why Requiem know the location of the Anna site in Ukraine, and I'm guessing that is none other than Ravenov, since he used to be working for Omega, but he is now helping out Requiem, although he holds no loyalty to either really. But the main mission is to be intercepting Redacted to take into custody before Omega, as they are the only one to stop Redacted. But I'm thinking more than likely Zykov, so maybe this map is literally going to be a race between Omega and Requiem for who manages to get to Zykov first, because they think he's the key to stopping the Forsaken, whether we try to kill or capture him. But this is going to draw the end of the Aetherium Arms Race, so there's a good chance that after DLC 4 Omega will collapse and be no more, and then Kravchenko, no longer being the leader of Omega, will then make his way over to Afghanistan that we saw in Black Ops 2, and then moving forward into Treyarch's next title, there might just be Requiem left, unless some sort of new group gets formed that's more of a global organization, organized to prevent the destruction of our world from the Dark Aether, as opposed to the East and the West fighting over Aetherium. Really, we just need a global group as opposed to fighting amongst themselves, when the true evil, the true threat against humanity and the entire world is within the Dark Aether. We shouldn't really be fighting amongst ourselves, as it just increases the chances of the Dark Aether successfully infiltrating our world and the Forsaken or other Elder Gods ruling. Maybe Samantha Maxis will then use her powers to try and seal him back into the Dark Aether, or even potentially kill the Forsaken, and maybe this is the true purpose of Operation Janus and all of the stuff to do with the director, who is most likely Eddie. In fact, in the French version of the game, there was a recent piece of intel found, and Eric Maynard made a video on this recently, and it's about the formation and the origins of Requiem, and it seems like all of it was the director's idea, but his name is classified. This will probably be a new piece of intel that gets released with DLC 4, and when it gets released, they'll most likely reveal his name to be Eddie, the new incarnation of Richtofen. But I think that because the director is pretty much the entire reason Requiem even exists, he came up with the idea, gave all of the planning, and bear in mind, Omega literally wouldn't exist either if it weren't for Requiem. He most likely had prior knowledge of what was going to happen with the Forsaken and stuff like that, and maybe that's some stuff that could be explored within Vanguard Zombies, setting up some of the prequel storyline. But yeah, the director slash Eddie has some sort of grand plan, and we're going to see that play out. It has meant that he's had to interrogate and experiment on Samantha, causing her great stress and pain and trauma, but maybe it is for the greater good. But I don't really think the director is necessarily a good guy. He may just be an anti-hero. He might be doing something for the greater good. I do think he has something up his sleeve though. He does seem to get a real kick out of causing Samantha pain, so I really wouldn't label him as a good guy. But yeah, that's kind of a summary of everything you need to know from the intel leading into DLC 4. Zykov has seemingly manipulated Omega into making this machine to free him from the Dark Aether, but he's most likely just a pawn for the Forsaken, so when he tries to escape, all that's going to happen is the Dark Aether is going to wreak havoc into our world. Ravenov is crewing up with Requiem as we go head to head against Omega to try and prevent whatever's happening, or potentially be the first one to reach Zykov and or the Forsaken. I want to go over some other stuff that we're going to see on this map, but before we get into that, this video has been kindly sponsored by Mythia.com, a debit card made for gamers by gamers, the first ever of its kind. You can earn rewards to get free games as well as PlayStation 5s, Xboxes, headsets and more gaming accessories. Every time you use your card, you can get get a reward. Rewards are random, so check the app to see what you have won. But good luck on winning that PlayStation 5. There are challenges every week to win more prizes. It's a secure and protected system, as it is FDIC insured through Piedmont Bank of up to $250,000. What's more is that there are no monthly fees or minimum balance. So if this sounds like something you would be interested in, you can check it out using the link in this video's description and start earning rewards today. So bringing it back to the topic of DLC 4, I want to talk a little bit more about the location of this military facility, test site Anna, that we explore within Red Light, Green Light. I think that this area will be a very cool location to explore within a Zombies map. We have all of the neon lights and stuff like that, and maybe they could even use some of the area within the ending of the campaign when you are driving in a vehicle. That could actually be a playable area now, since it never was in the campaign mission. There is in fact a fake US town similar to Newtown with a bunch of mannequins and stuff like that. Maybe there's even going to be an Easter egg similar to on Newtown. If you shoot off all of the mannequin heads, there might be an Easter egg song or something else, or maybe all of the mannequins will come alive. But we do in fact see that there is a Burger Town restaurant here that features Bubby, which is its mascot, and we did see Bubby within Exo Zombies Infection. A lot of people loved Bubby in Exo Zombies, and I'm sure that considering the fact that he's in this campaign mission, he's probably going to be a part of the Zombies map as well. He has a load of funny voice lines if you activate him within the campaign.
Great! You're gonna love my meat inside you! Will you be my friend? Would you like to make that a super duper mega combo?
So yeah, I'm sure he's going to play a big part within this map and will most likely be used within the Easter egg quest. Within Mauer Toten, Klaus was sent into the Dark Aether to meet the Forsaken. I wonder if Klaus even merged with the Forsaken, but Klaus's AI is most likely based off of the director, aka Eddie. And I wonder if Bubby could be used within the Easter egg to try and defeat the Forsaken, which would be quite hilarious. But considering the fact that Burger Town is returning, I hope within the Easter egg we don't have to cook a burger like we did on Exo Zombies Infection. That would be quite annoying. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts on Red Light, Green Light being the location of this final Zombies map? I think that's a really cool location to explore within Zombies. It doesn't really suit that much being DLC 4, and especially with Bubby being a very comical character. Again, it doesn't really suit the vibe of DLC 4 when usually the final map is supposed to be the most climactic and most intense, yet we're going to have this funny robot on it, which, don't get me wrong, is going to be really cool, but it just doesn't really fit the vibe of a DLC 4 map, if that makes any sense. But yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see how this map actually ends up playing out when we get to play it. It's not really that far away. As I was saying, it releases on October 6th/7th with DLC 4. We'll most likely be getting a ton of more teasers for the final map throughout the rest of this week and next week. And this is unrelated to DLC 4, but Trek have confirmed that Armada is the final region that has been added to Outbreak, so no more are coming in the future. As you guys know, there are actually multiple more maps left to release in Outbreak and Fireteam in the Ural Mountains, such as Weather Station, which features a remake of Summit within it, Chemical Labs, and a couple other spots as well. And I'm guessing that Trek just haven't finished these locations and they're just not ready to release, and because of the fact that they are now working on Vanguard and their next Call of Duty title, they probably just don't have time to finish up these regions, especially when the different regions in Outbreak don't actually really change the modes that much. And considering the fact that the full Ural Mountains map was supposed to be part of some sort of Blackout 2 experience, but that got cancelled, I guess Trek just don't see a reason to finish off these other regions. Also, various different data miners were posting leaked gameplay of playing Outbreak on various other maps in Black Ops Cold War, such as Crossroads, so I'm guessing they have been cut as well. And this is pretty unfortunate, and this is just the nature of game development. Sometimes stuff just gets left on the chopping board and the developer's time just gets wasted. I can't even imagine how long they spent working on all of these other Outbreak regions, and it was supposed to be a part of a Battle Royale experience that just never released, and all of that time has ended up being wasted because Treyarch are now working on future Call of Duties like Vanguard. And this is the problem with Call of Duty having a game every single year. It means that every single year year, everything just gets restarted and they go back to ground zero where they have to start releasing maps all over again in the DLC cycle, when if they just had one game that was continuously updated, it would just keep on getting more and more maps and layers added onto it, building on the experience that already exists. And that's the way it should be. The current yearly Call of Duty release is just not working. It is completely ruining the potential of the franchise. The potential is way higher with just one continuous game that gets consistently updated. The fact that Zombies has to go back to ground zero with barely any maps at the start of every single new game is ridiculous. It would completely solve the problem of people complaining about a lack of maps if it just didn't get refreshed every year with a brand new game. There has been lots of rumors about potentially seeing more Zombies content in 2022 for Black Ops Cold War, but now that Treyarch are working on Vanguard Zombies, that is not going to be the case. Now that we have confirmation that DLC 4 is in fact going to be the final map, that is definitely not the case, so there is no Zombies Chronicles 2 or Victis maps, unfortunately. I had been saying all year, I didn't really think it was going to be the case. Part of me was still holding out hope, but yeah, the Victis maps are not releasing in this game, maybe a future game. I don't think they're going to be in Vanguard, or like some people have been speculating, maybe Treyarch's next Call of Duty title in 2023, which is rumored to be a near future game set around the time setting of Black Ops 2, which is basically modern day at this point. So yeah, DLC 4 is the final map and we're getting no more Outbreak regions. Instead, I guess we'll see Outbreak again in Vanguard Zombies probably. Maybe it's going to be played on sections of the new Pacific Warzone map. And once again, that's the problem with having a new Call of Duty game every single year. Outbreak has to start back from ground zero. Instead of building upon it and just making it better and better, they have to go right back to ground zero again, where there might be a limited amount of regions and then they keep expanding on it throughout the seasons. And just a quick reminder that this video has been kindly sponsored by Mythia.com if you want to go ahead and earn some rewards by using the world's first gaming debit card. So anyways, thank you for watching the video and make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching and bye.